There are three basic control structures in computer code: sequence, iteration, which is also known as looping, and selection. In previous workshops, we've created code in Scratch that uses both sequence and iteration. In this video, we'll explain how to add selections into your code. Now, you may be asking, what do we mean by a selection? What am I selecting? Red or white? Chocolate or vanilla? North Island or South Island? Unfortunately, we're not selecting any of these options. Selections are based on if-then statements. So if you do one thing, then something else will happen. For example, if you were to write a program to control a robot, it might be fun to make a decision about what to do if the robot encounters a barrier. It might turn left or right, go backwards, all depending on the code. The most important feature of selections is that they're able to select between multiple possible courses of action. Without selections, code cannot be written to respond to different situations. The if in this scenario might be, if the robot meets a barrier, then it will reverse backwards 30 centimeters and turn right. In real life, we make decisions based on our own selections, depending on our particular circumstances. For example, if you're walking in town, you might come to a road with traffic lights. If the pedestrian light is green, then you can walk across the street. If it's red, then you stop. As humans, we come across these situations every day, and making the decisions is almost automatic. When programming a robot, we have to be very, very specific in the code. Now that we've introduced the ideas of selection, we'll show you some examples in Scratch. Over to you, Damon.
Hi there. So we're going to be talking about random functions and selections and being able to go through and create random functions inside Scratch. The way it works is very simple. We can actually go and generate a random block and actually say we want to choose from a series of numbers. So the reason why I would go through and do this is because just think about if you wanted to make a game and you wanted to actually have, say, a bunch of sprites appear. So let's just say you're creating a game that's a spaceship game where fighters are coming down and shooting. Basically, you don't want them to always appear in the same place at the same time. So you can actually create a random function that allows them to appear and generate in different areas of the screen and at different times. All right, so we're going to go through now in Scratch and actually create a very simple random function that will allow us, when we click on the green flag, to generate through a series of images and then just get one of those images to appear. If I go back out and look into our costumes, you can see that we actually, in our sprite for our cat, we have two costumes. I'm just going to delete one of these, and I have costume one up here. I'm going to go back in and just select a new animal. And I'll select the bat. And then select another one. So as you can see, what I've gone through and done is I've actually selected 6 different sprites and I've put them all in that one sprite sheet. So if you look through the costumes now, and when I flick through these, they'll actually change, the characters will change. And they're labeled from 1 to 6. So what I'm going to go through and do now is actually code it so it will actually, when I hit the green flag, will generate through those numbers and select one of them randomly. So the way that we do that is we go back into our scripts and we grab the when the green flag is clicked, and I'm going to drag that over, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for my, in my looks block, and look for my switch costumes too. And I can grab that and put that over there, and what I'm going to do is also I need a forever block, so forever need this to actually listen for my command. And now if I select the green flag right now, you can see it just changes to lion. And it's going to change the line every time because right now it says in here, it actually says switch costume to lion A. And I can select this and say switch it to elephant and to the dog. What I really want to do though is I actually want to create a random function that every time I click this green flag, it will generate through those costumes. So all I'm going to do now is just go through and select in our operators the pick random function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the pick random function and I'm going to drag this over to the switch costume 2 and just drop it in there. And as you can see, already it's starting to work, but it's going through and creating a cycle that's extremely fast and is actually not stopping. So therefore it's kind of useless to us. It's just cycling through these images. First thing I'm going to do is going to change this to say 6 because I already know that I have an image series between 1 to 6. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a control and I'm going to say wait. Now wait 1 second, and now we've slowed it down to the point where it's going through and cycling through these in a random function, but it's waiting 1 second before it goes to the next one. So what I actually want to do now is have it so when I click on the green flag, it will just pick one random image and then actually stop. So what I'm going to do now is grab the stop all and just place that under there. And now if we look, if I go to my costumes, I can see on my section of costumes, and if I click on the green flag, it will randomly start to select these. And that's how we go through and create a random function within Scratch.